Hello. Welcome back to the Mompreneur Life podcast. If you are new here, welcome, okay? And if you are not new here, hey girl, hey, and thanks for coming back, okay? So, today's episode is things to ask yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed. First of all, okay, before we get started, let me tell you now, okay? No one is perfect. And feeling overwhelmed is not that bad. It is, but just know that you're not alone, okay? Because I feel like everyone at some time of their life feel overwhelmed, okay? So here are some things to ask yourself when you're overwhelmed to help you, okay? So let's get into it. So as you know, I like to start my episodes with a mom win. So today's mom win is we are still potty training, but we're getting better. We are actually getting better at this potty training thing. So, hey, I'm all for it. Okay. And the mom loss also has to deal with potty training. I put on the training underwear on my son because the lady at the daycare just told me that she was like, hey, he did not have to change any pups today. He went to the potty all day. So I'm like, oh, nice. I put on his potty training underwear. 2 minutes later, he went through the potty training underwear. I feel like I just need some kind of balance with this potty training thing, but we're getting better one day at a time. I'm just saying. So, first of all, let's talk about overwhelm. Let's talk about it, because I feel like what's going on is we become overwhelmed and we shut down, or we then have like a nervous breakdown. It just be too much at one time. Okay. I want to tell you this. You are not alone, okay? And all you have to do sometimes is just take a nap. No, I'm joking. But sometimes, like, really and truly just step back. Sometimes you just need to step back and just reevaluate some things, because sometimes we have this long to-do list and it's just overwhelming us and it's just a bit much. And so here are some questions, okay? Let's go through these questions to ask yourself when you are actually feeling overwhelmed, okay? First, what is important now? Okay, like right this second, what is important? And are all of these tasks that we have on our to-do list actually urgent? Like, do they have to be done right this second? Because I feel like we be prioritizing things that do not need to be the first thing on our to-do list, okay? We don't always have to make everything a priority. Or sometimes we don't have to make everybody a priority. I'm just saying. I ain't talking about your family. It be them other people. You know what I mean. Okay? And sometimes you need to just ask yourself that. What is important right now? What has to be done right this minute? What has to be done within the next hour? Because what happens is when we become overwhelmed and we have these breakdowns or we shut down, that normally happens like within an hour. So if we could just find the priorities for that hour, do it, and then step back, because everything else is not a priority. If we could just step back and just be like, okay, I'm overwhelmed, but everything else on my to-do list, I don't have to do this second. It will get done, okay? It will get done. So I'm going to just get to it when I can, or I'm going to just have somebody else do it. Because sometimes we want to do everything ourselves. So then we become upset when we're overwhelmed. That math ain't mathing, sis. Like, come on. I'm just saying, stop making everything a priority, and you might need to delegate some things, okay? I'm just saying. Delegating is my jam, okay? I'll tell somebody quick, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, it is what it is, okay? So next question is, do I need to do all of these things right now? So we have this to-do list. And most of the time, the to-do list overwhelms us, or the thought of the to-do list overwhelms us, or the thought of us needing to be everywhere overwhelms us. So do you have to do all of those things right there and then? Do you have to do it right there and then? If not, you need to put it off. The way how I said it earlier, you got to put some things off. Because you have to protect your mental state. You have to protect your peace. Because what's going to happen is you are going to continue to get overwhelmed, and you are going to continue this never-ending cycle But you want to be able to control it. You want to control the overwhelm. You want to be like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Let me knock out this last task and then I'll come back to the rest. Or let me knock out this last task and I'm going to just organize the to-do list. I'm going to put 3 items for tomorrow. I'm going to put another 3 items for next week. Because I don't have to do it like right this second. I'm just saying, like, we be really trying to put everything for right now. So when we put everything for right now, what happens is we become overwhelmed right now. So let's say, for instance, you planned your day and you're like, oh my gosh, I have more items on my to-do list than I have time. And then you realize, okay, I don't need to go to the grocery store right now. I just need to order these groceries. And that just be it. I'm going to just order these groceries this week. Maybe next week, if I have time, I'll go into the grocery store. But I don't have the time this week. So I'm going to just order it. And then later on, or I would have someone deliver it, or I'll have somebody go pick them up. You see what I'm saying? Or, like, goodness, okay, like with me, I don't know why I do it to myself, but I be thinking on Monday morning, I have time to get gas. Every Monday morning. Why do I do that to myself? Knowing good and well, I'm going to be late. Like every Monday, I'm almost late. Like I make it 1 minute in time. Every Monday morning. Mind you, most Sundays, I'm out getting groceries. Why don't I just get the gas then? It would just be too much like right. So, some Sundays I just ask my husband to do it because I don't be having the energy. I don't like pumping gas. Like I do not like to pump gas. I don't know what it is, but if I could put it off until the light come on, I would do it. Don't judge me. Judge yourself. I'm just saying. Next is, how can I get some help for this task? Let's say, for instance, we had that long to-do list. The to-do list is overwhelming us. Okay, how can I get some help for these tasks? Like I told y'all, sometimes I just ask my husband, like, hey, here's my card. Can you get me some gas, please? I'm just saying. I don't have it in me. Okay? Or, like I said, also, you get the groceries delivered. It's okay. It is okay. But you have to look at the to-do list that's overwhelming you and see what you can delegate, what you can get someone else to do for you. Or if they can't do it right there and then and it's not a priority, ask them to do it later. Ask them to do it tomorrow, next week, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just some things you don't really have to do. Some things you just want to take control over. And sometimes you just need to ask for help. So don't be afraid to ask for help, because what happens is that be the thing that overwhelms us, having too much on our plate, right? Having too much on our plate, we become overwhelmed and it just be too much. So then what happens is we have to be in control. So then when we become overwhelmed, we don't control us being overwhelmed. We just break down and then that just be it. We go in a corner, we cry, and that just be it. So next question to ask yourself, what would happen if I don't do everything now? Like, I'm sticking to this to-do list because my to-do list, y'all, overwhelms me sometimes. What would happen if I do not do everything now? Like sometimes, like I said, we be putting some things to the front of our priority list, knowing good and well it's not that serious. So, like sometimes, it's kind of like, you're like, okay, gosh, I haven't posted social media. I need to post. I got to post. Oh my God, I have nothing to post. What would happen if you don't post? Like, okay, like some things you have to get done. Like if you got to pick the kids up, of course you got to pick your kids up. Or, it just be things like that we know we have to do. But then some of those things on that to-do list, homegirl, you don't need to do it. Nothing will happen if you don't do it. Okay? Nothing will happen. Social services will not come and pick you up because you don't do something on your to-do list. They will pick you up if you don't pick your kid up from school. But some of that other stuff, it's not that serious. I'm just saying. Next question. Why is this task necessary? What kind of systems can I create to make any of these tasks go a little bit smoother? So I started feeling a little overwhelmed with juggling YouTube and podcasts. If you don't know, as of right this second, I am putting out quite a few YouTube videos because I have a goal I want to accomplish. Personal goal, is it necessary? No. I'm just saying. It's not necessary. So I had to realize, okay, this isn't necessary. I might need to cut back or I need to create a system. So I create a better system for myself. So I put everything in Trello and I manage everything that way. So I have a visualization of the type of content I need to record, what dates things are going out, what dates I need to edit, what dates I need to schedule for. Because if I was just going off of like a regular to-do list, or, in my to-do list, it would say something like record podcast. First of all, okay, I record a lot of podcasts at one time. So that right there will overwhelm me. I had to break it down. And then I don't have to edit all of the podcasts at one time. Obviously, I edit one podcast a week. So I put that into my Trello board. So some of the tasks are necessary, but what systems can you actually create to help you with these necessary tasks? Yet, me in this podcast and this YouTube is a personal goal of mine. It's not necessary, but I created a system to help me through. I created a system to relieve some of the overwhelm. I created a system to help with the stress. Because if you are thinking about doing a podcast or a YouTube video or YouTube channel, you will realize real quick, like the only way for you to grow on these platforms is for you to stay consistent. It is what it is. You have to stay consistent. So with it being that you're staying consistent, it takes time. It takes time to create the content. It takes time to edit the content. It takes time to schedule the content. But then all of that is taking time. Okay? So you have to create some kind of system to make things a little easier on you. I'm just saying. So whenever you are feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself these questions and implement different routines, different people into the equation, okay? And implement systems to help you through, because if not, you are going to constantly be in chaos and you are constantly going to be overwhelmed. You do not need your mind racing at all times because you have long to-do lists. So thank you for listening to the Mompreneur Life podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you leave a review and I will catch you later.